Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Eizo Open here in Bucharest, Romania. The crowd has thronged. You guys have been awesome all day. Terrific crowd, absolutely terrific crowd. Knowledgeable, fun, enthusiastic. We couldn't have asked for any more. Right then, so we have the semi-finals coming up very shortly, but first, what we're going to do is we're going to go to Twitter. So who's got a phone with them right now here? Just a quick show of hands. Who's got their phone with them? Quite a few of you. Yeah, okay, log on to Twitter then. And type a question to any one of us. You can actually talk to either me or Apollo or Jorasad. You just aim your questions at us. I've got a few already. All you do is aim the questions in #DHBUC, okay, for DreamHack Bucharest. And we'll do our best to answer them. I've got one for you, Apollo, actually. Are you ready for this? Yeah, okay.
I'm off the hook for now.
Yeah, come at me, bro.
You have to answer in rap.
Come on, give it to me. Give it to me. What is it?
Someone said, actually, I shouldn't say come at me, bro, because I'm an Englishman. I should say, please approach me aggressively. Anyway, the question is from Ariatha, who says, how did it feel to lose to Semler?
See, not many people get that, because nobody cares.
Do you guys care about that? I think they beg to differ.
Well, it felt a little bit frustrating. He's really bad at StarCraft, and I lost.
So you're worse?
Yeah. So don't listen to what I say. It's usually bullshit.
No bleepers, so yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Thanks for that. Where's the man with the bleeper when you need him? Okay, let's go through some of these then. Give us your son Brody quest. Oh, that's not really a question. I don't think it is anyway. It's more of a request. Have you got over losing 50 euros? I think that's another Semler-related question. Are you guys just trolling us on Twitter now?
Come on. What's next? Another one.
Let's have a look. You guys should stop being no-lifers and tune in to DreamHack Bucharest.
Oh, okay then, if you insist.
That's a good one.
I agree with that one. This tweet is approved. What else have we got? When will there be a rap battle between Apollo and Husky?
Ooh.
I'm just reading.
Well, it's difficult to answer that one, because I don't know. I actually didn't even think about Husky. I was aiming at DJ Wheat.
Wow, he's throwing it down right now.
It's going to be
It's like you connect a scout call, I'm like, this is not a good idea. I am here to cast StarCraft games, guys. That was a fluke.
It's like a talk show, and behind the curtain, DJ Wheat comes out of nowhere. I stand up, you guys start. I'd be up for that.
Okay, I've got a question for Jorasa here as well. It says, how do you feel about casting with a guy who lost to Semler?
Well...
Come at me, bro.
I don't have, obviously, travel, casting, don't have all the time in the world to devote to playing StarCraft, but it is good to know that I'm in fairly high place. I have not yet lost to Semler, so feeling pretty good about that.
Whatever.
No problem.
Thanks,
Got another question for Apollo. We'll wrap this up in a moment, I promise, and we'll move on to some sensible stuff. Hang on, I got those confused there. I thought there was a guy asking, but actually, you're lucky, Apollo, it's a lady. She says, will you marry me?
Oh, I don't want to answer that one.
No.
You're a bad person for
I'm just reading. I'm just reading.
Okay. Well, I'm going to answer truthfully. I don't really know who you are. It's probably not something I want to commit to.
That's part of the excitement, man.
So I'm going to have to say no.
Okay, and yeah, boo. Boo. A nasty man that Apollo is. Anyone would think he had a girlfriend or something. Anyway. One last question then. It says, this one's from Lamland95. Great name for Twitter, by the way. You'll definitely get found quickly. It says...
Is it at me?
Jorasad versus Apollo for 50 euros. Yes or no, confirm, deny.
Well, Semler's not involved, right? So I still have a better record against Semler.
Yeah, these similar Apollo jokes are never going to get old, are they?
I tell you what, these questions were rubbish. I was expecting something a little bit more interesting. Sorry,
really?
guys.
Well, it's funny you should say that, because we've got something a little bit more interesting, actually. It comes courtesy of your boss. So let's take a look at this.
I'm James Too Good Harding, President and Commissioner of Esports, and welcome to The Truth. If there's one thing Apollo loves more than StarCraft 2, it's everything. And if there's one thing that Apollo loves more than everything, it's money. And if there's one thing Apollo loves more than money, it's Vampire Diaries. A lot of people think Apollo is a pillar of the esports community, but he's not. His new series on YouTube called Improve with Apollo, all it is he goes and watches old Day 9 dailies that people have forgot about and then regurgitates the information as his own in an English accent, so he sounds a little smarter. The fact is, Apollo knows less than StarCraft than Semler. I'm James Too Good Harding, and I approve this message.
So, Sean, just when you thought things couldn't get any worse, they got worse, right?
There's going to be one day that you guys and DreamHack push me over the cliff and I'm going to leave to League of Legends.
There's no need to swear. Dear me, that was uncalled for. I don't know what you're laughing about, Jorasar, either, because there's a video about you coming up next.
What?
Play the tape.
And just when I thought.
Jorasar, a man that needs no introduction, but by God damn it, he's going to get one anyway. Are you familiar with the StarCraft unit, the carrier? Jorasar is, and that's what he is to our StarCraft community. He carries Apollo at this event. He carries everybody. And those little interceptors, that's Apollo. And when the carrier fires them out, they cost money. Apollo is wasting money. We need more carriers like Jorasar in the esports community. Some people know Jorasar as a community caster. I know him as a community hero. If there's anything I could say bad about Jorasar, it's the fact that he's only a commentator. I'm James Too Good Harding, President and Commissioner of Esports, and I approve this message. And Jorasar's attire. It's one sexy man.
The only bad thing about this is that I also know there's probably a video about me backstage. And it's probably going to come up soon, but not right now. Jorasar, what do you think of that then?
Well, I haven't actually had the pleasure of meeting Too Good yet, so it was very enlightening to watch that video at the very least. And
Carrier.
It's...
Well, he's putting you under the bus. It's your turn now. Come on.
Well, Interceptor's not that viable late game, especially after the last patch where they increased them from 2 supply to 4 supply. It's just getting a little bit more difficult for Protoss in the end there. That's... What can I say? 75 gas cost on them as well. I mean, Blizzard, you guys really need to tone it down a little.
Okay. Well, that's the fun stuff done. Anyway, we've got a semi-final to take place, so how about we get the semi-final underway? Are you okay with that, guys?
Not really. I think I'm done.
Not really, he's been trolled. So. Anyway, we are going to get the semi-final underway. So, without further ado, let's introduce you to the 2 players that are coming out right now. And the thing is, these guys have battled their way through a terrific tournament. 64 players started this tournament. We have just 4 left, okay? 4. Who will be champion? We're about to find out one of our finalists. Please welcome the top trainee of the tournament. Please welcome to the stage, Bly. They fixed my mic. That's handy. Good timing. Well done. Congratulations. You have made the semi-final. One more game. Can you take this game and make the grand final?
So let's make a coin flip.
Okay. What?
It's ZVP. It's most of time it's coin flip really. So we'll see. We'll do my best.
All right. Well, good luck. And a man waiting in the wings right now has gone through this tournament very quickly indeed. In fact, he's gone through the tournament 8-0 with only 3 maps lost to him in the entire 2 days. He's also a former DreamHack champion, bidding to become the first double winner. Please welcome Mana! An early shake of the hands, that's good. So, does that put any more pressure on you or less pressure on you because you've already qualified, you know you're going to the finals, you can just play however you want to play now?
I just want to play on the main stage on DreamHack Winter. That's all I care about, actually. So if I lose now, I'm happy because I have granted $3,000, I think, for this place, so I'm already happy.
Okay, well, it is Mana versus Bly. Good luck, Well done. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the first semi-final. Are you ready? Oh, yeah. Let's go. Take it away, please, Apollo and Jorasa.
All right, so we are now in the semi-finals. It is going to be a best of 3 between these two. One of them is going to move on, of course, to the grand finals. Mana is already guaranteed to be in DreamHack Winter, but if he wins this, he will be a 3-time DreamHack finalist and could be a 2-time champion if he wins the final as well, and that is something remarkable. But with this guy right there, we see Eizo Bly looking to get it to the final. If he wins this, he's already at a superb position to actually be in DreamHack Winter, but if he wins this and goes to the final, he will be guaranteed to be there.
That's right. He is looking pretty formidable. In fact, both of these players looking very formidable today in the knockout stages, both not even dropping a map. In Bly's case, he went through Rain 2-0 against the Korean Terran player and then beat his compatriot Fryer 2-0, and in Mana's position, beating White 2-0 in the round of 16 before going through Sage 2-0. Definitely not an easy road here. They find themselves in the semi-final pitted against each other. One of them's going to have to drop a map right now.
Mana's only dropped 2 maps in the entire of the tournament today, so that is quite impressive. Bly's dropped a game, but it's all about this best of 3 we have in front of us. There is Mana as we now get ready to load into this game. Mana, of course, representing his team, Mouse Sports. Bly representing his team, Acer. And it is going to be a Zerg versus Protoss, as we saw a lot here today already. And this first map is about to get underway.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. So hold on tight. We have a pretty epic PVZ going on here at the semifinals of the DreamHack Eizo Open here in Bucharest, Romania. And these guys, of course, met at the previous DreamHack as well. In a group stage, actually, Mana able to take a win off of Bly on that particular occasion, but we'll see if the same is going to be happening again. Guys, we are into the semifinals here, and we have the Red Zerg spawning in the top left position. Ladies and gentlemen, Team Acer, Bly. And his opponent, spawning in the bottom right position, is the blue Protoss player, already a DreamHack champion, aiming to become the first person to do it twice. Can he pull it off? Representing Mouse Sports, we have Mana.
Let's find out how this is going to unfold now as the game has begun. We've got a pylon down on the low ground, so we're going to have no gateway expansion, just a standardized play to begin with here by Mana. On a map like this, Mana, I would not be surprised if you went Nexus first. You can get away with it. Bly has been playing some tricky games this weekend. He's been going gas very early on. He's been getting speed. He's denying scouting. He's not taking a third base. He's using Hydras. He's just playing this unique style, but he's playing a lot of mind games against Protoss, who have a hard time scouting. The Observer, of course, shot down with an Overseer, well, with an Overseer and Queen joined together. And we already have this spawning pool coming down. 14 spawning pool by Bly. If not Nexus coming down first, we can see a forge into a pylon block on the natural. That was one of the weaknesses, to be honest, of Bly's play, because he doesn't like a fast third base.
That's right, so he's not going to be moving a drone towards the third base location to take that instead. We haven't seen him take a very fast third base really in any matchup so far that he's been playing at this tournament. And Bly really mixing things up here on another level, because normally players are basically used to Bly going to base and then going for a quick infestation pit. We see him doing that in online cups all the time. We've seen him do it in previous tournaments. But on this particular occasion, he hasn't even been getting that. Oh, and he's trying to draw the probe out because he made it look like he was going for the third. Is he going to get the hatch down? Well, excellent play by Bly there. Great fake out. And Mana's probe is left sitting there wondering what went wrong.
6 slings coming down. As soon as he can, he's going to have to build a cannon naturally. Pylon cannon's good. And actually pylon in the main base, sorry, so cannon just coming down with a gateway. And these 6 slings, you know, they probably won't be able to get their way in, but they can easily go and destroy those back rocks to force Mana to react to that. And we are going to have the cannon come down immediately. It's going to be very easy to wall this off if need be, but he has to know it's coming. He sees the probe, or has the probe on the Xelnog tower, which we sees it.
And going to be moving offensively into Mana's half of the map now. And there we go, the wall going to get completed there by another gateway. And those lings will not be able to find a way in by the looks of things. Going to be hacking away at that gate, but the photon cannon is about to complete. Bly will have to retreat very, very shortly. Is he even going to go for it? I think he might do here. Canceling, running past the probe, and 3 lings get into the natural.
Disastrous start here for Mana, letting these lings in. Wasn't able to throw down another structure behind the gateways. He's thrown down the gases already. And this is going to be a bit problematic. He is Chrono Boosting out a Zealot immediately and sending out another probe to go scout anyway to check for the expansion of his opponent. So it's not disastrous for him, just a little bit of annoyance because Mana has seen the gas. He wants to know what's going on. With the Zealot's going to beat these 3 lings, no problem. But they will be able to run around a lot if he controls them. 1 too many hits. Whoop. Whoop. And he does lose a probe, so nice pick off there by Bly, but he's going to lose if he tries to run in the main base. Remember, the cannon does cover the ramp. Nice attack there by the probe. Mana, though, on the other hand, is scouting that third base and sees no third base. And he's going to make his way in now. And these lings, both in red. The probe's not going to get very far here, Joris, so it's going to get to the gas. He's going to see the gas researching. Doesn't quite get to click on the extractor, though.
No, but Bly has been going for this style quite a bit. We do see the quick Zergling speed coming out of him there. He is continuing to mine with 3 drones on gas, and he just started his lair, and looks like he might be poised to take a third base here. And yes, indeed, the hatchery does go down, so going straight for the lair before putting down the third hatch is Bly in this particular game. We saw the third go down significantly later, of course, in a lot of his games so far this tournament, and he's opted on this particular occasion to do it slightly earlier, I guess, than what we're accustomed to.
So Robo come down first here, wants to get an observer out immediately. The Overlord's going to quick look and poke in. Won't see anything and will have to retreat. But we do, as you said, have 3 bases down. There comes the first evolution chamber. 6 more lings. That's probably just to push this Zealot off, which is on his opponent's Xelnog tower. And, you know, Mana does have the option to go scout without you. I think he's already seen it with something on the top right. No, that's Novel, never mind. Yeah, so he's going to be able to scout this anyway. He knows he's playing against a lair. At this stage of the game, when you see gas, you see speed, you still gas, or know that gas most likely still mining, you know that you're playing against kind of a 2-base tech. Third base is very late. He's even going to 100% confirm it now with these Zealots. Not enough lings there to stop it. And he's going to go have a look. So he knows he's playing against lair, so he knows the options now. Infestation Pit, Spire, Hydroden. I guess you can throw Nidus in there if you want to include everything. But most likely here, Spire, I would say most likely Spire and Infestation Pit, but obviously the way that we see Bly playing, Hydroden as well. He did build a Hydroden and cancelled it to go immediately for the Spire upon seeing the Robo down so early on.
So interesting choice there from Bly, going straight into that Spire play, and an Overlord getting sacrificed, as you mentioned, to see that we have an Overseer Morphine going to be heading towards there as well, just to see if there are any other buildings out, and he should be able to spot that some additional gateways have come out, but otherwise not too much out of the ordinary. We're going to be going up into 4 gateways and a robotic facility as that Overlord gets destroyed there. And in the meantime, Bly, going to be back at home, has taken all 4 of the gases in his main natural, and the Twilight Council now getting started for Mana.
We do see a Warp Prism on its way out as the Spire does come down. Only 4 gases though, so it's not that much gas investment into Mutalisks, if you think about it. He's only going to be able to build a couple. Currently, Bly is supply blocked, as you can see, 62 supply, having to build 4 Overlords at once. That's going to hurt him quite a bit, actually, considering Mana hasn't made such mistakes. But the Warp Prism's going to go out. Unfortunately for Mana, it does get scouted there by the Overlord. And that's a little bit unfortunate. That Warp Prism won't do too much, but it's not too much of an investment. It's only 200 minerals. It's not too much. If he loses units with it as well, that could be quite disastrous.
6 Mutalisks now on the way for Bly, so if that War Prism continues on its current course, we could see a small flock of Mutas there just head straight on out to intercept it. And of course, Bly does know that the War Prism is on the way. We have Blink and +1 armor coming out from Mana as well. And in the meantime, a huge round of drones there, 12 more coming out from Bly, not feeling the need at this point of the game to start building up that big army. Going to be able to try and take some map control with the Mutas, and actually, he's not hunting for the War Prism at the moment. It looks like he was about to consider flying out. A little bit of indecision there, but he is actually moving straight towards the main base.
Yeah, Mana's going to use that as soon as he sees the Mutalist in his main base. He knows about it. He's got the Observer inside the main base, which is a little bit of a mistake from Bly to allow that to happen. He sees the Spy, he sees the Macro Hatch now, and already has Stalkers set up in the main base to defend. He will want to get Blink out as fast as possible and just play defensive. Let's see if his defense is going to be good enough, because Bly has to do damage with this. If Mana keeps up a good defense, he's going to be able to take a good third base, not lose probes, take a Templar Archive down immediately and just play. But there, the Zealot's coming as soon as he knows about the Mutalist being out.
And I'm a little bit surprised that Bly didn't go and try and pick off the War Prism straight away. The Spire is going to get targeted down here. More Zealots being warped in. Spire currently at about 50% health. Will there be enough DPS to get this down? Spire going down. Yes, he does. Managing to take out the Spire there with a couple of Zealots to spare. The Mutalist will end up cleaning this up. And the War Prism is even going to try and get away. I think the Mutas, though, are going to be able to catch up. No War Prism speed just yet.
Yeah, of course. So, I mean, but if you think about it, the two things that Mana's accomplished, yes, he killed the Spire, but yes, he took no damage. If that makes sense. Didn't take any damage. You know, the Stalkers are out, they have Blink, they have +1, he's even chasing down the Mutas because he knows that his opponent has to be building drones. Got to be a little bit careful, though, because there are now Lings coming out. +1 melee is down for the Lings. The Spire is being rebuilt. There's a timing now where the Mutalist count, of course, will stay at what it is currently. But by the time the Spire gets rebuilt, that, if he wants to continue Mutalist production, will shoot up, double, basically, the Mutalist count. But with the Infestation Pit down, he may just want to put that gas into, of course, Pathogen Glands and straight over to Infestors. But Mana throwing down another gateway, still playing very locked, tight on 2 bases, and will take a third very momentarily, very, very shortly here.
Oh, trying to pick apart a pylon there. Mana going to get a couple of pot shots off, blinking down as well, but I think a couple of Mutas are going to be able to pick apart these Stalkers on the low ground. Mana may be going a little bit too far there with his jurisdiction, blinking back up into the main base. The Muta's going to attempt to give chase just a little bit, and there are enough Lings on the low ground to ensure that Mana does not blink down once again, taking his 4th base behind it as well, because he knows the War Prism has been destroyed, so they're going to have to remake that War Prism and spend a little bit of time at the very least, and that's going to enable Bly to feel like he's controlling more of the map at this stage in the game.
10 more Mutalists instead of Pathogen Glands, instead of getting the Infestors out, so he will increase the count, double it as mentioned, and he will be able to launch a big attack towards his 3rd base while going Hive, while upgrading. I'm sure he'll stop Pathogen Glands now. I doubt he'll build any more Mutalists than the ones he's got. He's at 19. I don't think it's going to be viable unless he wants to go for the kill. He could play it smooth out now from here. Pathogen Glands Infestors start to go towards the Ling Infestor Broodlord composition, especially with the Hive now narrowing down. But that is a very strong army. Mana doesn't know exactly where the army is, because he's got no vision out on the map whatsoever, so he's got a large amount of Stalkers inside his main base. Here comes the attack, and it's going to hit the natural.
Oh, and that Forge is being chrono boosted, researching upgrade as well. The Force Field comes out a little bit late. There are already Lings inside. Are we going to get the Forge down? It's losing almost all of its shields, but then we have Bly refocusing his efforts on the 3rd base. Not going to be able to do that either, and it looks like this attack will get repelled at this time. Good Force Fields trapping a number of Lings out there, and Bly going to be moving into the main base with these Mutalisks. Will be able to unpower that robotics facility, but otherwise not much other damage done.
With +2 Stalkers and army, he's going to be able to bring these Mutas down, and Bly's going to take a lot of damage. Oh, good aggressive blinks it. Mana does a lot. He's got to be careful on the 3rd base on these Lings, but that was a fantastic split of units. Mana defending, Fussel doing all these different locations, and that was absolutely fantastic. And he's able to maintain basically no damage in this game. He's lost a handful of units, yes, but he hasn't been slowed down. He's got +3 on the way. He's got Storm, he's taking gases on the 3rd base, but now the transition is taking formation. We have 8 Corruptors, Greatest Spire on its way. If Mana moves out very shortly, sure, he can hit before, but will he risk it when there's still a bunch of Mutalisks out? And if he doesn't risk it, then he's going to face against Broodlords without anything. And that's why the Stargate's coming down, I think, because he knows he's actually analyzed that. He's calculated that the options available are very low. So Stargate going to come down, he's going to go for the fleet peak, and most likely, slowly but surely, take a 4th base instead.
+2 attack and +1 armor has also just been completed there, I believe, for Bly on the melee upgrades. So he's going to continue investing in potential upgrades for Broodlings once the Great Aspire completes and we see Broodlords out on the map. So the upgrades chosen from Bly do transition quite nicely into what he's looking for in the endgame. He's not going for flyer attacks just yet. He's got Adrenal Glands on the way, +3 and +2 coming out as well. And he's really looking to build up to a kind of a Zerg death ball here. He's not trying to do too much harassment because he's seen the Blink Stalkers in the main base. He knows Mana is sitting there waiting for him, so he's being a little bit cautious with that, especially with no upgrades on the mutas, but he's still keeping Mana pinned back to his side of the map, and that's allowing Bly to buy the time he needs to get those extra bases, to get those Broodlords out, and hopefully to try and catch up on some of those upgrades as well.
All right, so the game has calmed down a little bit. 66 probes to 94 drones across 5 bases very shortly. Here's a new base has been taken. Creep spread has been basically ignored in this game because of the way that he's been using Mutalisk, and there's that 4th base going to come down. Shields is coming out. Man is going to have to focus now on dealing with the Mutalisk in the main if they come, and also defending this, but he should be okay to take this 4th base. I don't really see any threat to it at the moment. The Broodlords are being morphed, but I doubt Bly's going to take a risk without creep. Any mistake moving out with a handful of Broodlords could cost him the game because he gets countered, the units are too slow, he loses everything. So usually you see a Zerg play, just wait patiently on 5 bases, build up 16 Broodlords and then go. You don't really see him move out too early on. So I think that will give Mana the time to get this 5th base up. He is researching Zealot charge as well, and that's going to be very, very, very frustrating for the infestors. How can you fungal Zealots when they're charging at you? You miss a couple of breakthrough and they get to the Zealot line, but if he gets that, and he's going to go for this right-hand side too, is he going to get this base? They do have +3 attack, and this is absolutely fantastic. Mana's going to bring that down on the right-hand side too. Oh, wow. Is he going to warp in more units? Come on, where are the warp-ins? Just one.
Lonely Zealot is lonely, but we do have a couple more warp-ins now. The Queen going to be focusing down the Warp Prism over there. Ling's coming over to the left-hand side. Will be able to clean this up. Cancelled warp-in there. The Warp Prism tries in vain to get away, but the Mutas are able to arrive to clean that up. So it does actually get the hash on the left-hand side of the map. But now Bly is looking pretty angry. We have the Broodlords out on the left-hand side, moving towards the 4th base location. He's at 187 to 173 supply. Bly's going for his push.
And there's no cannons here or anything to actually protect this base yet. Mana hadn't quite set it all up. And +3 melee is about to finish. These Lings and Broodlings are going to do so much damage. Mana's Mothership's not ready. He's actually just going to evacuate. He's not going to try and do this. He loses a big chunk of probes. 20 probes go down. Bly delivers the counter-strike here, losing his 5th base. Well, Mana, you're not going to take your 4th.
Definitely not. And Bly has that nice high ground now as well as the Mothership pops out. Of course, no energy yet for a Vortex coming out of that Mothership. We'll see how this progresses, but Bly's positioning against the 3rd is quite good, but leaves him a little bit open to a counterattack in the middle of the map. You can see those Broodlords out onto the left, not as mobile as the army that Mana has right now, so needs to be very, very careful.
There's not that much detection there. There's only 2 Overseers. It's going to be enough, but not that much. 43 Stalkers. Good God, that's a lot of Stalkers here. +2 armorers on the way. Bly's going to back off a little bit here. There's no really reason to sit on that 4th base. You can always deny it with Lings for now, and he does make his Broodlords a bit more vulnerable. He's going to run back and start in a creep spread, as we can see. The thing he's been missing throughout this game, but with Noral on the way, we have the missile attacks coming in for the infested terrains. A lot more Overseers made now he knows about the Mothership being out. Does not want to die to a one-off, having no detection, and slowly but surely, oh, look at this. Mana's trying to click on, he's not actually guessing quite where the Stalker is. I mean, guessing where the Ling is.
Oh dear.
He's trying to do splash damage onto the Ling, but he doesn't know where it is, unfortunately.
No, sadly, that's not working out for him very much at all. And I like Bly's game plan here. He's denied the 4th base. If we take a look at the main base of Mana, mined out. If we take a look at the natural expansion of Mana, coming close to being mined out. So Bly's going to try and contain Mana on 3 bases. The Mutas move into the main base now. There aren't too many probes left there, though, and these Mutas are probably a little bit more trouble than they're worth at the moment. Bly can afford, I guess, to chuck them away if he's going to get additional Broodlords or whatever, but Mana is now pushing out towards the center of the map. He's going to be going on to creep as well. Bly is currently mining nearly twice as much as Mana, so he has to make something
That's
happen.
a very spread out Zerg army there, Mana, and he walks into a fungal. There is a Vortex available. Good feedback from the Infestors.
Great fungal to follow it up. Neural Vortex, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. gentlemen. Great storm to go off, but oh my goodness, that was such a clutch neural parasite there from Bly, and the mothership flies away, but we're waiting for the units to pop back out. The Broodlords need to try and do the damage. Oh, the Stalkers blink underneath. Could this have been a mistake from Bly? We'll find out. The Broodlings, the Mutalisks, the Lings are doing so much damage. They have +3 attack as well, and mana is being pushed back here. 124 supply to 190. Bly already remaxing, 66 Lings on the way.
And we're seeing Bly's economy win this game from at the moment. 66,000 minerals, 2,000 gas at the point of that battle, and he's already spent half of it and will be able to continue to do so. On the other hand, Mana struggling for gas here, trying to rebuild the mothership. Did not take a 4th base because of that Zergling, only just now clearing it out. Ultras Cavern coming down as well, so we are going to have a switch up and say, all right, well, if you're going to solely make an army to beat Broodlord, Infestor, Corruptor, then when you're very Stalker heavy, you will not be able to stop Infestor, Ultralisk, which is what he's gearing towards at the moment. Great use of Bly's money, but we are going to see Mana attempt to bring down the economy one more time at Bly, but it's not going to be that successful with the amount of units around, Corruptors around as well, and Bly is looking to end this game right here.
Yeah, he's going to be denying the 4th base once again from Mana. Looks like Mana does not intend on it going down a second time, but can he really stop it once the Broodlords actually get in here as well? They are around now, going to be moving some Broodlings towards the cannons. Great storm going off, but a lot of Broodlings in that particular composition, and now we have trying to blink under the Broodlords, walking straight into a Fungal. Good storm once again, but the DPS from Bly is huge here.
Yeah, and he's got so much money in the bank as well, so even if all these Broodlords die, it won't really matter that much, but they're not dying. Infested Terrans are coming out, Lynx remain, all the Stalkers die at the battle, in the battle. More do come in to help out, but slowly but surely, Mana is running out of money here, running out of gas. It's going to push Bly back for now, but when we see the plating done for the Ultras, they will come into play here one more time. A nice warp in from Mana on this right-hand side. Run out in his main, as you said, run out on the natural. The mothership comes in, 93 supply versus 150. Great harassment here from Mana, but to what end here?
Moving back in with Ling Infestor, trying to clean up the remaining Stalkers and Archons at the 4th base. Successfully does so, actually. The last Zealot going down, doing so much damage so quickly with 3-3 on these Cracklings here. And these probes are going to have to get the heck out of dodge. We don't have a Fungal holding them in place this time, but the Nexus they're mining from will go down. And the War Prism now in the natural. A couple of Zealots going to try and harass a Queen, but it's just not going to be enough. 10 Ultralisks on the way for Bly here in game number 1.
10 Ultralisks. Golly, that's going to be a big fight. And now the Zealots come in and clean up the Ultras camp, but it's too late. And even if it does go down here, it's not going to matter as it does come down. 10 Ultras, though. And after this, Bly can easily go back over to Broodlord Infestor. You know, Mana would be forced to build Immortals, and he doesn't have the money to tech switch left and right. And here are the Ultralisks. Broodlords as well. The Ultras cabin comes down once more, and we're about to see the stomping army of Bly come through, crush over Mana's army, and this could be very one-sided again. Another Zergling. How frustrating here for Mana.
We have got the mothership once again now. There are a decent number of infestors out. Do any of them have enough energy for a neural? Not just yet, but some of them are getting pretty close. We have them at around 70 at the moment, so needing 100 for that neural parasite there. A bunch of spine crawlers going up at the 5th base location as some High Templar coming in. Good storms against a decent number of those drones, but is it going to make that much of a difference later on in this game? Bly actually reacting quite well. A lot of those drones on very red health, but surviving, and they will slowly regenerate.
All right, so we have 10 Ultras and 1 million Infestors against, hold on, let me zoom in. 3 Archons and 7 Zealots. I don't know who's going to win this one, Jorasar. It's going to be quite close.
Looking pretty tough, man. I mean, Ultralisk can't shoot up. Go mothership.
Yeah,
maybe.
Let's get the mothership DPS in this game. Let's try and bring this army down. It's going to be a difficult one, though. Of course, the Vortex is available. There are Archons. Ultras wouldn't take as much damage. There's not too many Archons in there. And they're all spread out too. Constellation Broodlords are marching down, and Bly making this very painful for Man. Not going to give it up. He is a champion in his own rights here. Look at that spread in. Any second now, Bly is going to march his way down. There are the Broodlords, kind of baiting this army around left and right. Bly is ready to pounce. Here it comes. Here comes the victory march. Vortex goes down. Another one not available. GG called immediately. And Bly takes the victory.
So Bly there, well played by him, takes victory in game number 1 against a DreamHack champion. Can he get revenge for the last DreamHack where he did actually go down to Mana in the group stages. He's halfway there at the moment. Ohana was the first map. Bly successfully taking Mana down there in a 29-minute game. And now Mana has to consider revising his game plan.
And this is a big mark on the scene here for Bly, considering that he's never won a tournament before in StarCraft 2. He's always been a consistent finisher in tournaments, always around 32-16. Actually, a very cool story of Bly throughout this year in 2012. In DreamHack Summer, he finished round of 32. Valencia, round of 16. In Bucharest, currently sitting in the semi-final, one game away from going the distance, steadily increasing his performance at each DreamHack, each tour that he's attended, each stop that he's attended, and now just one map away from going to his first ever Grand Finals.
This is a very big moment for Bly indeed, and as we saw, he sort of moved his play a little bit more conventional, I would say, in that particular game. He took his third earlier than we've seen him take it earlier on in the tournament. He got that infestation pit down just a little bit earlier as well. Thought about going for the Hydras, cancelled and went for the Mutas instead.
Yeah.
All things considered, compared to how we've seen him play earlier, that was a lot more conventional.
And make sure to go to Twitter, of course, hashtag DHBUC. Let us know who you think's going to win. Let us know who you think's going to lose. Let us know who you want in the finals as well. And you can go ahead and do that on Twitter very simply while we get this next game set up. Just waiting on Bly, who's currently, well, as funny as it sounds, watching the replay. Yep. He did have a picture of himself on his own screen before he played the quarterfinal. Watching the replay kind of makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, maybe he's watching the replay and then he alt-tabs out, gets his photo back up on screen. We'll have to see. Maybe someone can get inside the booth and have a sneaky shot of that. But both players in the replay at the moment just going to be checking out what went right and what went wrong for both of those guys in that last game. That turns out to be quite a tongue twister, actually.
Yeah.
What went right, what went wrong. I can't say that 3 times fast.
And as you can see live from Bucharest, there is the crowd. Say hello, crowds. They say, wish you were here. To you guys at home, as the next map is going to be Cloud Kingdom. We could see something from Mana pulling out here. Cloud Kingdom, I've seen Mana do a lot of immortal all-ins on this map. Seen a lot of aggressive plays on this map from Mana as well. But Bly, the denial Zerg, very much so denial of aggression, denial of scouting, very difficult to read, changes his style up game in, game out, making him very unpredictable on what's going to do. We've seen a different play. Traditionally, Zerg would go into the game and be like, right, 3 hatcheries, let's go. No, that's not how Bly's actually approaching this tournament. It's actually completely different.
And the great thing about Bly as well is that you see, of course, you have a lot of players that have lots of strategies and mix them up once in a while, and maybe you have some players that are used to playing those macro games and want to switch it up with a bit of a timing. But usually when you see them play, there's just a little bit of nervousness in there because they're doing something that they aren't quite used to, don't do quite as often. Maybe they're nervous using a strategy like that in a tournament situation, and Bly's like, what are you talking about? I do this kind of stuff every day. So he plays completely calm, completely focused, no matter what crazy strategy is bringing out, and it just makes him that much more difficult to read.
And Mana's always traditionally been, or had Zerg as his weakest matchup. He's great in PvP, fantastic in PvT, but he's always had trouble against Zerg. But having come back from Korea, he has evolved as a player, absolutely. He's changed it up a lot. He's playing a lot stronger than I've ever seen him before in Protoss versus Zerg. And remember, he knew that his potential opponent could be Bly, and as he won his quarterfinal match, he still thought he could win it. So I'm sure he's feeling pretty confident, just addressing that replay, having a look, figuring out how Bly's playing, as they are just now almost ready to rejoin so we can get this map underway. But Manas now has to figure out, and that's the real impressive thing, a tournament, an open tournament where X amount of players can join, it's not so much about preparation, it's more on-the-fly adaptation, which Mana has to do if he wants to go on to the finals.
And on-the-fly adaptation really is the name of the game. When you're playing against someone like Bly, whether you're a game up or a game down against him, that has absolutely no bearing on what kind of strategies he could be employing from one game to the next. So a very difficult situation for Mana to be in at the moment. This will really test and get him drawing forward from his tournament experience here, waiting to see what he's going to be going for.
And the players now are just about to join the lobby. So we will get this game underway. Sorry about this little downtime. The players, though, are the most important here. Just watching the replay. Bly has now joined Mana. It will join it in a second. And make sure to thank the sponsors as well. You can always hashtag them. Eizo, Logitech, Twitch TV, Sapphire, AMD. Make sure to do that. And thank them for this fantastic tournament as well. And it looks like we're almost ready.
Still in the replay, unfortunately, at the moment, but Mana will be getting into the game soon. I have a little bit of an interesting experiment. As we all know, 1-0 up, very good position for Bly. I'm wondering if we can switch to a shot of the crowd real quick. Let's see if we can do that. Crowd, I want a Wow.
Good experiment, Joris.
Okay. That wasn't quite what I had in mind. No, I have an interesting experiment by show of hands here, guys. If we look at as much of the crowd as we can, by show of hands, how many people want Bly to win? Just show of hands. All right, now, how many people think he'll win as well? Do we have more or less? Oh, it looks like we have quite a few Mana fans in the audience, actually. They want Mana to come back. Do you think Mana can come back? Show of hands if Mana can come back. I think we have a crowd favorite here, Apollo.
All right, well, let's see if it takes any impact onto this game. Tilo's out of the tournament, if you didn't know.
Everyone starts standing up. No, guys, sit down. This is really cool.
All right, we're finally into the game now.
That's right. And spawning over here, ladies and gentlemen, on Cloud Kingdom as the Red Zerg representing Team Acer, winner of the previous game. Let's see if he can pull it off. It's Bly. And over here in the top right, can he mount a comeback and win the next 2 games to move on to the final and keep his hopes of winning 2 DreamHack championships alive? Ladies and gentlemen, from Mouse Sports, we have Mana.
A lot of experience under Mana's belt. Why would I wish luck to my opponents? Have fun, says Mana, who's taking this very seriously. But like I said, a lot of experience from Mana. He's been playing in a lot of tournaments for a very long time. He's actually playing Brood War since he was like 12. He's still very, very young, 18 if I'm not mistaken, maybe 19 by now. But has been in the scene forever. Has been at the dawn of time with StarCraft 2, played in the final, his first tournament, first final from DreamHack Winter 2010. Is now in DreamHack Bucharest 2012, looking to pick up another victory, can potentially be the second DreamHack champion in StarCraft 2, the only double DreamHack champion. It's always been a different winner at every single tournament. Could make some history here.
And being placed in quite a difficult situation here, sees that the spawning pool has gone down first for Bly. In the meantime, nothing too unusual coming out from the camp of Mana. We have the pylon going down on the low ground, always indicative, of course, of that fast expansion, and the probe from Mana getting ready now to block the hatchery. And I think this time around, he won't be moving towards the third base anytime soon. I think he knows that Bly is going to try and take his natural. And there we go. Let the dance begin at the natural expansion.
Gas taken very early on here by Bly, knowing that this could be an option. Realizing that Forge Expand could be something that Mana's done here to block that, but that's not quite the case, and the expansion will come down. You can't quite afford to block the hatchery if you're going to go Nexus first. You just can't make the wall off complete, and you just die to Lings, unfortunately. But gas down, and Mana's going to see it really early on, and crazy play from Bly. He's just playing it so different to what people are expecting. And yeah, to be honest, I say that, and I'm thinking about Mana's history as a player too. If you remember the DreamHack Summer, Mana was the one that won the tournament through Immortal all-ins, through builds like this, through going for Zealot Archon pushes as well. And certain players just weren't quite ready and used to it. They hadn't practiced against it. And that's what Bly seems to be doing at this tournament, using this kind of style. He's only in gas with 2 at the moment, playing mind games, playing tricks, making himself unpredictable, making it very hard for Mana to get a solid read on what to do. Because if Mana, at one instant, isn't set up defensively against what potentially could come, if it does come, the game is dead and gone.
Yeah, it really is. And Bly just switching things up so much here, keeping Mana guessing, keeping all of his opponents at this DreamHack tournament guessing. We'll find out what he's going to be doing shortly in game number 3 as Zergling speed, of course, going down quite early on there. Queen just moving out in case, possibly in case something was hidden in the bottom left there. I didn't actually see what she was going down there to do, but no matter anyway. The hatchery is going to finish at the expansion now as well. And Bly has overlords in place just to check out exactly what's coming out from Mana. Mana does have a probe moving down to the third base location from Bly. So even though he's used to seeing these 2 base stuff, I suspect he just wants to make sure the third base isn't being taken. If Bly can deny the scouting, he will.
Yeah, I mean, what does it mean here? You know, the probe gets the scout of no base, or should get the scout maybe, depending on where this probe goes. But what does it mean? I mean, the Bly can, without a third base, can do anything. He can play macro, he can take a base at 6 minutes. As the probe gets in there, tries to look at the drone scout or the drone saturation. Nice movement there by Bly to hide all his drones. could force down another cannon, which it does. Stargate coming down by Mana. He's like, all right, well, I need to find out somehow. Unfortunately for Bly, doesn't quite see that. So I wouldn't be surprised if we did see a Void Ray come out initially, just super, super defensive. And then into using the Phoenixes for some scouting information to kind of work out what he's playing against.
And a third cannon going down as well. That was such a cool move from Bly, drilling all those drones over so that the probe couldn't see them, making Mana think that maybe all the larvae from the natural expansion have been put into something else that aren't drones. And as a result, he's playing a lot more defensively. That's 150 minerals being used there for defense twice over, as the layer is now about to complete for Bly, and he is taking his third base as well.
And Mana's 0-1 behind. If he loses to an all-in, he would question himself, why didn't I build cannons? You know? So he's just playing it so safe. 4 cannons coming down. Bly, with that Overlord, is probably in that booth, if you can see in the live audience, giggling. Because he's like, there's 4 cannons. I'm not doing anything. This is hilarious. That's so much money that, you know, he's losing because of this when there's nothing there. And Bly is just laughing, taking a third base. Hydra then coming down.
And against the Void Ray that's coming out as well, those Hydras could prove to be quite useful indeed. That Overlord, of course, south of the Stargate will spot very, very quickly that it is a Void Ray coming out, because sadly it will disappear into the Nether in a splatter of blood. As Mana now getting close to completing that Void Ray. The Hydra's Den also about to complete for Bly, moving out on the right-hand side, and sorry, Mr. Overlord, it's not your lucky day.
Yeah, that's going to go down. The Water Natural's going to go down, and finally Bly can be shot, but another Void Ray being made. And I don't think that Overlord can actually spot it. Ooh, Mana's playing a little bit cheeky. That's the Void Ray from the initial vision. And with the second Void Ray being built here, if that gets scouted, that could prove quite a problem. Void Rays against Hydras. That could be an interesting mix. Let's see what's going to follow this up. If he throws down a bunch of gateways now, which I think he's going to do, I think Mana's going to take things into his own hands here.
Third Void Ray.
Oh, a third Void Ray is absolutely going to do this. So we're going to have a 3 Void Ray attack after clearing out the scouts. He's going to throw down gateways. He will have +1. Let's see, Bly, how well these Hydras are going to defend you, because his money is really low. His income's low because he does not have a third base. He won't be able to make that many units. He can't kind of overwhelm his opponent with units either. And here come the gateways. Here comes another pylon, and this is actually going to happen.
Wow, this is a very gutsy move here from Mana, but he could make it pay off. We're going up to, I think, a total of 5 gateways at the moment, with possibly more to come. That's a robotics facility on the way now as well. And we have a Phoenix following up the first 3 of Void Rays. Hydralisks for Bly. He's not going to have a lot of creep to work with, of course, because he hasn't been spreading that we've seen this far in the tournament, and he's getting a Spire.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say that earlier. I mean, imagine if Bly, because Bly has so many options available, imagine if you actually went for a, Spire initially on and had Mulus out. The game ends. Mana's taken a gamble by using this. I think that base is a fake on the third. He hasn't shown the Void Rays yet, if I'm not mistaken. Where are the Void Rays? Are all of them out? Actually, where are they gone? Okay, they're making the movement out here, and the links have been, the Void Rays have been spotted, and this third base may actually be realistic if he's actually given the Void Rays away. Nidus Worm coming down with. Did he stop the third Void? Okay, stop the third Void Ray, so it's only 2 Void Rays. He didn't build the third. Yeah. Phoenix backed up, Robotic Spade coming down, and Mana's not going to go for it. He's not going to try this anymore. He's going to sit back on this third base, having cancelled that third Void Ray. There's a lot of Void Rays. I mean, there's a lot of Hydras, but a Nidus Worm's coming down. And what we're going to end up seeing here, Jorisar, is these Hydras are actually going to be used alongside +1. He's going to Nidus Worm the third base. He's going to attack the third base. He knows if this attack isn't going to come to him, he's going to take the fight to Mana. And if Mana doesn't defend this, it's over.
That's right, and this is, of course, the second game in a best-of-3 with Bly up 1-0 at the moment. This is either win big or go home time, ladies and gentlemen. And the Nidus popping out near the third base. A second one coming out as well for extra security, wanting to make sure he can definitely move those in. That's a lot of DPS in the Hydras. They are quite squishy, of course, but we have a couple of links here to follow this up as well, and he's going to try and attack into the third base. Mana, with his army, with a lot of energy on those sentries, actually.
He's crawling forward with the... Oh, great forces by Mana. He's crawling forward with a nice... A Colossus is on the way. Colossus saves the day. Can Mana hold off against this? He's got to bring that Nidus Worm down. Can't let that one survive. Good force fields again here by Mana. He's using them so efficiently. Another one goes down. The Colossus is 60%. It is so close here.
We need to hold off until that Colossus gets through. Will he be able to do it? Infestation Pit going down for Bly, so he already sees what the follow-up might be. It looks like the energy on the sentries getting a bit low there. Mana actually moving back and sacrificing this third base. Bly able to get some purchase with his attack. He's currently up 135 to 101 supply, and he is ahead in workers marginally 65 to 57 as well, but now the Colossus is on the field.
That's a big blow to Mana. The Colossus is out, and now Mana's ready to fight, but the problem is there are 6 Corruptors on the way too. He's going to immediately retake that third base. It's not like he can go and counterattack. That's not an option. He just dies straight out to Corruptors, to the Hydras. The Hydras are gone. Excellent assault there by Bly. Oh, dearie me.
Oh, dear.
Oh, what are they? No. Never mind. I guess they're both gone because they're both observing something happened in Take TV's house. But the internet's gone, so we're going to have to hold this for a couple of seconds, unfortunately. But an incredibly tense moment here. Unfortunately, 40-second countdown.
Such a difficult moment in the game for Mana right now. Also getting a forward pylon sniped off there at the, and also another one at the third base. So he's actually supply blocked a little bit at the moment as well. He has got 3 pylons incoming. He's only going to be another couple of seconds. But what do you do at this point if you're Mana? I'm not even 100% certain if you'll spot all 3 Nidus still out on the map, because it's really not normal to have that many out. He might just kill one and go, okay, that's it, and keep moving. And then Bly will be able to use the other ones in the back later on in the game.
All right, so it's only 10 seconds away from actually jumping into this. And we can basically immediately go in because it will resume straight away. And the countdown is down to 1. And we are going to be back into the game in a couple of seconds' time here, just waiting on this to close up. But as you said, a very incredibly tense moment. The game has been paused immediately by a DreamHack admin. And we will just get ready to do this. The countdown will start now. Mana's asking for a countdown. What a more tense moment. Mana's tournament life is on the line with that pause, and we are now having a countdown. An official countdown from the DreamHack team. Probably out of BC, our little in-game observer will do that, or the admin. Either way, we're into the game, and we can begin.
That's right. 3 double quotation marks and 1. Let's get back into the game. Thank you very much for that, Dennis. And let's move on now. There is one Nidus Worm that is still alive in the top of the map. This is what I was talking about earlier while the game was paused. This could prove to be very useful for Bly a little bit later on. A lot of links, a lot of Hydras still exist, of course, because they went back through the Nidus into the main base. But now we have Colossi with extended thermal lance coming out from Mana. He's currently down about 20 supply.
The Hive is on its way, man. The one thing that, Bly doesn't really have is another Evolution Chamber, so he's only working on just +1 melee. So even though he will have a good army, a good composition, they won't really be that well upgraded compared to +2 that's on the way. And especially with Colossus, they're just going to fry everything really, really fast. And it seems like the Nidus has been found at the top by a Zealot. Unfortunately, his Ling's coming in. But that's not too much of a problem. It will get cleaned up now. Fourth base coming down here by Bly. Mana not out of it yet. By no means he's out of it. Because if you think about it, going Hydras and that amount of Hydras, that's a pretty damn big investment.
Yes, it really is.
And he only killed the Nexus. It's not like he did too much. And now Bly has to tech switch over, get ready to build his Infestors, which hasn't even started in this game. He hasn't even started Pathogen Glands, if I'm not mistaken. No, he hasn't. Just going straight towards these Brood Lords. And Mana still able to fight here.
It's going to be a little bit difficult for Bly on the ground. I mean, Zerglings and Hydras are not exactly the most resilient unit composition in the game. He hasn't gotten any roaches in this particular game. So if some really high damage DPS stuff comes out here from Mana, or maybe Storm, for example, could be an interesting choice for him, but he is going for Blink at the moment. That kind of stuff can really do a lot of damage to this composition. So Bly is looking to get up to those Broodlords as soon as practically possible, so he has that lovely buffer. And when you get to a position where you have Hydralisks behind the Broodlords, the DPS from that army, once anything, for example, Stalker's Blink underneath or stuff like that, is so difficult to deal with.
Mana hasn't scouted anything in the entire of this game, but he already knows his opponent should be a Hive. I like it that Bly cut out the Infestors, to be honest, expecting a counter-attack after killing that third Nexus, just going straight up to Broodlords. And it's timed out really well for him, because if Mana was going to attack, it would be now. And he'd already been well set up with Ling, Hydra, Corruptor to bring down the Colossus. Ling, Hydra would destroy everything. So, smart decision from Bly, smart decision from Mana not to attack.
He's so active with his Lings out as well. Mana trying to get probes out left, right, and center, and Bly with his Lings and with the control of those Xel'Naga towers are just saying, nope, you're not actually going to get anything done anywhere. So really good stuff coming out of him there. We have the Fleet Beacon going down for Mana as well. And no doubt at some point soon we'll be seeing a Mama ship pop into the game.
Ooh, 11 Broodlords. I was going to say always a pleasure to see, not so much. As the fourth base is taken here by Mana, slowly but surely. Mothership is on the way. So we are going to have a similar repeat of the previous game where Mana will take the fight to the long game. He's not going to try to end it early. There's macro hatches, or not macro hatch, sorry, extension hatch here on the left, so he can go ahead and mine from this base if his fourth does go down, as well as in the bottom right too. And look at the upgrades though. That's the big difference compared to a usual game. Is it only just now is +2 melee coming out? The Broodlings are going to be a lot weaker. The Lings are going to be a lot weaker. They won't do the damage necessary. They, like I said, they don't have Carapace either. So Mana's army is a lot stronger than it should be at this stage of the game.
Yeah, 3-1.
With the Mothership and Temple Archives on the way, Mana could be able to win this against, or with a Vortex against this entire army. But there are so many Broodlords. The Mothership's not quite ready yet, and Bly seems to be getting a little bit eager with his armies. He makes a movement across. Temple Archives very close to finishing as well. This is so close for Mana to have the right weapons against Bly, but it's not quite ready yet.
He needs to be very, very careful with this. He is up to 3-1 upgrades now, ladies and gentlemen, against the +1 attack on both the melee and ranged that Bly has. But is it going to be enough? Still only on, I think, the one evolution chamber as the Broodlords now begin their siege of the fourth base. The Void Rays venturing forward to see if they can get a pot shot off. Unlikely to do so in this particular situation. The Corruptors now moving in, attempting to take out the Void Rays here. There we go, and the battle begins.
The Mothership is on the way. There's only one Overseer, and Bly might have overextended this. There's no Infestors either, so this could be very dangerous. Only 3 Infestors, that is it there to actually support this. If Mana pulls off this fight, despite losing the fourth base, and then attacks and cleans it up, he can still win this. So right now, Bly has a large army, Mana has a good spread, and he's about to charge in. The Mothership is coming. Here it is. There's no Nora, there's not many Infestors. And Mana, is he going to be able to hold this front? Is he going to be able to do it?
Oh, this is so unbelievably tense. The Mothership is there. Force fields go down to try and zone the rest of the units out. The Hydra's doing a lot of DPS in the back. Both sides doing a lot of damage to each other. Mana looking like he's going to be retreating up his ramp. He is indeed blinking back. The sentries get caught out in the front. They still have a lot of energy. The Colossus goes down, and the sentries get picked off as well.
Another Colossus survives, and Bly knows he has to run back. He doesn't have anything really supporting those Broodlords. Only a handful of a handful of Hydralists. Mana's going to pounce back now. He's going to look to do this. 2 Colossus and Blinkstalkers. There he goes. He's going to try it.
Oh, no fungal available to Bly as well. Those Infestors are out of energy. These Blinkstalkers are going to get every single Broodlord. The Corruptors will be able to get the Colossus in the back, but that's almost consolation at this point. And Mana picks every single one of those off, now trying to get away from the resulting Zergling swarm that's incoming.
Yeah, and these Lings, like I said, aren't the strongest amount of Lings, so these Blinkstalkers may be able to fight them. He's going to have to cancel that fourth base and wait another round. The problem is in this game is that Bly, not yet utilizing them, has expansions all over. He can mine from the bottom right. He can mine from the left-hand side, and that's what he's going to do now with a bit of freedom. And this game will go on again. Mana fighting an uphill battle, though, losing a lot of resources in taking the fight. Of course, the Zerg army is always going to be the cost-effective one, but bringing down the Broodlord army, it takes a long time to remake. There's no Broodlords on the field, there's 8 Corruptors for sure, and there's not even that much gas for Bly. So to be honest, Bly's at a weak mid-tier army, which can not do so well against Mana. So, oh, great cancellation again, or great pickoff, should I say, more so from Bly. And Mana's going to try and harass these bases, but unfortunately for him, there's a couple of Infestors waiting.
That's right, and the Queen, actually getting surrounded there. The Zealot's now going to be moving in. They're a little bit clumped up. Are we going to see a fungal? No, actually, the Infestors are actually going to try and get the heck out of dodge. A couple of Infested Terrans get moved back, and the Zerglings will be able to clean this up. So harassment denied there at the bottom right base for Bly, who currently has a 50 supply lead over Mana.
And he's had a lot of time. It's been roughly 2-3 minutes since that fight happened. He's now got a lot of money banked up. He's got a lot of Corruptors here too. His composition is 85 Zerglings. So what we're going to see now is probably not Broodlords made initially. He's probably going to come in, pick off the Colossus because he's expecting them to be there, and then try to run over with Lings. Unfortunately for him, I think that these High Templar do have Storm, which is going to help out Mana a bit. Warp Prism with 4 Zealots looking to pick off this expansion too. If Mana can bring this down, that's going to really slow Bly. He's not quite set up here. He has no units there either. Here comes Bly in for attack. He's going to cancel that fourth base for sure. Infested Terrans could down, but at the same time, Bly is going to lose this expansion, I think.
Oh my goodness, the Zealots are doing a healthy amount of damage there, but the rest of them are Changelings. We do have some more in the natural expansion for Zealots now, but the Lings are going to be able to run in and try and stop it. The Warp Prism doing his best to get as much damage done as possible. The Corruptors now going to be joining the fray. Everything here is actually going to get cleaned up, and I'm so glad I'm not at Barcraft where I have to take a shot every time that fourth base gets cancelled.
And that Infestation Pit does go down in the main base here, and Bly not coming back to deal with these Zealots. He's a little bit slow in it, and he could get that upgrade, but he doesn't really know about it properly, and he's focused on a lot of other attacks, such as trying to bring this brace down. Oh no, sorry, excuse me. As I thought they would change it. No, I thought they were Zealots, they were just changelings. But now the mothership, the mothership's back up. But look how long that fourth base has been denied. And guess what's there again? A pesky Zergling, which is going to annoy and frustrate Mana again, having to build cannons. And the money and income is just skyrocketing for Bly compared to Mana. Mana has to be so cost efficient. He can't afford to lose units at this stage of the game. We have the Ultras coming in for a transition as well. 11 Broodlords.
Oh, that's a lot, man. And Mana does have a little bit of a bank. He has 1.7k minerals, but he basically has no more gas. It's not like you're going to be remaxing against Broodlords with Zealots, so he has to be so careful and so cost-efficient here with this army. I like that Bly recognized that his opponent had better upgrades and went for a double evolution chamber as well. Oh, and the Broodlords moving out in front of the army here, but Mana deciding not to engage, recognizing a bit of a bait. Excellent! Oh, Vortex and Storm going down for Mana. Is this what he needed? The Stalker's blinking forward now. A lot of those Broodlords on very little hit points. Great feedbacks on the Infestor as well. Mana is doing so much with so little. Is it going to be enough?
Is it going to be enough? Here comes the Broodlords. Pop, 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 pop as the Archons start popping away and down fall the Broodlords. The Stalkers, though, there's still a lot. He needs to get to the back Broodlords, and there he does.
Oh
he gets
my God.
to them, and they're going to come down. Mana is going to fight against the imbalance that is Zerg, and Mana marches forward, but there are 8 Ultralisks on the way. Mana will establish a fourth base, but 8 Ultralisks.
Oh
that is a lot. Let's check the upgrades for these Ultralisks. They do have +3 attack. They only have +1 armor at the moment. They do not have +2. They do not have the plating. So they're going to be quite weak, to be honest. And Archons are so damn good against Ultralisks. And Mana's got a fourth base. Mana is fighting this at the moment. Going to be able to try and pick off this base. If he can pick it off and get out, would be the best thing. But he doesn't want to risk it. He doesn't want to pick it off and risk his army because he knows his tournament life is on the line here. And already Immortals are being made. Mana's going to go for it on the left-hand side. He's going to be able to pick up that expansion. He's going to take the gamble. 3 Ultras get slaughtered on the way. And that hatchery will fall.
The fourth base now being terrorized as well from Bly. Going to try and get into that probe line, get as many kills as possible. But there are a couple of Zealots able to stop that from happening. And Mana is now in the supply lead by about 20. Bly... Oh, he's very difficult waters he's sailing through here as Mana gets the engagement he was looking for to launch himself back into the game. But he has to hold on to this fourth base at all costs because Bly is still continuing to mine more than the Protoss.
This Ultralisk switch was probably a bad idea here by Bly. They're too weak. They have +1 armor. They're researching their plating to give him an extra 2, but he doesn't have +2 carapace either. So this is actually not going to be as well or go as well as he hopes. 148 supply for Mana. He's got a very strong army. They have +3 attack. A new base has been taken, and Mana's playing an absolutely fantastic game here. And we're going to have to find out how Bly's going to take this. Is he going to rush across? Is he going to use the Ultras? Is he going to wait to further upgrade their armor? Or is he not? 7 Infestors are coming down. Unfortunately for Mana, that's going to die. Oh, that's kind of a weird way to kill it.
Wow. That's a little bit fancy there coming out of Bly, but neuraling at the Warp Prism and using the Corruptors to finish off the job there, I guess as good as any, but he needed to be careful. At the end of that last engagement, he had 1 Infestor left on the entire map, Apollo, and he's had to remake a whole bunch of them now. He does have 4, but because they only just popped out, he needs some time for them to get enough energy before the next engagement as well, and Bly cannot afford another engagement like he did previously, and he's actually going to be mixing in some Broodlords here, which I like. I'm not 100% certain I want to see him go pure Ultra here.
All right, so a lot of Lings on the left-hand side here looking for that expansion. A single Stalker is going to guard it, and this is a big win for Bly, who goes immediately for the Nexus, and immediately Zealots and Templar get whooped in here. Well, not just Zealots down the line, but the Nexus is going to fall. +3, Zergling's going to bring that down easy peasy, but Mana chasing down this army. Good fungal there by Bly to prevent the inevitable, which is going to be the death of these Ultralists. They're just not good enough in this game. 4 more Broodlords are coming in. Immortals in the mixture. 2 there, a 3rd on the way. And Mana is just making the better army here. He's got better upgrades, he's got better army composition. And Bly realizes that Ultras was a bad idea, only build on those certain ones, and he's gone back over to Broodlords.
That's probably a good thing from him as well. Those Broodlords, by the way, are at 2-1 flyer upgrades as well. So he hasn't neglected those. He has been continuously using those evolution chambers. Still needs +3 missile attacks and Grand Carapace level 2, I guess, but he's not going to be building any more Ultralists by the looks of things. He's back up to 175 supply versus the 188 of Mana. And, well, the worker supply is almost irrelevant right now as long as both sides have enough workers. He just needs to make sure there are enough mineral patches to mine from at this stage. So Mana wanting to keep that 4th base alive. It's been denied God knows how many times in this game. And the Lings coming back once again to the top left. But nothing's mining there. there yet, and there is half an army there to greet him.
Yeah, nice 1-2 by Bly, sending the Ultras to the natural, trying to hope that Mana would pull everything, expecting the entire army to be there to send the Lings then to that 5th base, but unfortunately Mana already had static units there just waiting, and now cannons are complete. That's not really going to be contested anymore, so Mana has established the 5th base in this game and will be able to mine a lot. He's starting to bank money now too as he's approaching 200 supply. That gas will start to bank up. He can reinforce the composition is just absolutely fantastic here for Mana. And even with an observer coming on, he's going to start picking off these creep tumors, preventing map control, map vision for Bly. And Mana's fighting an epic game here, 1-0 behind. Tournament life consistently on the line. Remember at the start of this game, he built 4 cannons because he was blind, he had no idea. Yeah. And now he's on 5 bases. There the cannons still remain, of course, but look at this army. 2 Vortex should be available by now on that mothership. And Mana's ready to take this fight here.
Bly has rediscovered the upgrade buttons as all the remaining upgrades get put out at the same time, but they're not going to finish by the time this engagement starts. We have some Lings and the Ultras moving in quickly here, but a Vortex going down for Mana. He still has 1 more available to him. The Stalkers are blinking underneath the Broodlords. Bly going down to about 150 supply at the moment. What will the units in the Vortex look like when they pop out? We do have a couple of Archons here. Do they get the damage required? Yes, 3 Archons kill off a lot of the Broodlords, and I think Bly, this is the point of no return. He's down to 110 supply. Mana at 163.
And Mana says, hello, these units are from Aya and they are here to stay. With a hat-trick going down, he is in a fantastic position. 170 to supply to 100. He's got the 4th and 5th base and managed to stay alive. 107 supply versus 44. And Mana wants to go to game 3. He wants to be a 3-time DreamHack finalist and wanting that history written down with 2 times being a champion if he can make it and be able to beat his next opponent in the finals. But right now, Bly stuck on useless units. What are Ling's going to do at this stage of the game? Absolutely nothing against what Mana has out. And Mana traded so efficiently with money in the bank. He's replenished what he lost and is almost ready to go again. He may wait for the mothership to 100% confirm his victory. It is a risk maybe to go without. Or if he's feeling confident, he can do moves like this. 1, 2, and 3. Almost infestors go down.
And the number of infestors out on the field still for Bly is all the way back at 1, ladies and gentlemen. And without that infestor support, Bly is going to struggle with almost any army composition that he can muster up in the next minute or 2. He's got 24 Lings and 5 Broodlords morphing in. A decent amount of upgrades coming through, but they're upgrades on an increasingly dwindling number of units here. Mana up to effectively maxed at 192 against 130 from Bly, and he's having hatcheries denied all over the place now as he gets pushed back to his half of the map.
Really good control there by Mana, picking off what he can while he can. As he makes his movement through the middle again. Will want to eventually take that right-hand side base if he's going to play this out long, just clearing up the creep, knowing that he doesn't want to risk anything. He can't risk anything if he's not taking a fight. Remember, fights can go poorly sometimes. And it all depends on, you know, he doesn't know how much money Bly really has banked up. Bly's been on like 5 bases, 6 bases for the entire of the game. So,
oh, and that classic 35-minute Zealot charge popping down as well for Mana. Just really more of a luxury than anything with this army at the moment. He is 50 supply ahead, let's not forget. And let's see what he's going to be able to do with this. He's actually taken out a lot of the creep tumors on the left-hand side of the map, so he's denied Bly vision of army movement there, and that's going to make Bly just a little bit more nervous. He's got some Broodlords out between the natural and the 3rd base location as well now, and a couple of changelings going to be going into this army, but every single one gets picked up very promptly indeed. And Mana's just waiting. There we go. The mothership has joined up with the army. I think he's going to be going soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Just like I said, at this level of StarCraft, you are allowed to spoon it up a couple of times, all right? You're allowed to take your time. You do not want to throw this away. If he throws it away, it will be the biggest mistake of his life for sure. So right now, slowly but surely, marching his way down, looking for the best angle, the best position, the fight that says you can win this 120%. And that is what Mana's looking for right now, as Bly struggling to rebuild an army. He has got a decent amount of Broodlords, but compared to the army that's there, and that's a lot of spike rolls going to go down, or drones going down, should I say.
The hatchery is amusingly going to survive for another couple of seconds, but I think Mana is going to dispatch of that as well, indeed. Not even a cancel going down on that hatch now. Bly really on his last legs, a couple of units morphing in at the bottom right location, Archon and a couple of Zealots. I think that will get cleaned up, but the real problem for him is this massive army bearing down down on his fourth right now, continuing to deny those creep dreamers. And here we go, moving in the mothership in tow as well. 187 to 112 supply now. Great storm going off and feedbacks on the infestors of Vortex, not catching all of the broodlords. There are still at least 5 here, but blinking forward, not caring. Good fungal growth from Bly, but it might not be enough. 101 to 154 supply. A lot of Archons in the back here as well, going into the Vortex, and whatever's in there is about to get completely crushed.
Absolutely domination here by Mana, crushing through a lot here. 3 Broodlords will remain, a handful of Lings that won't do anything here. Stalkers blink onto the Broodlords, looking to finish this game off. Mana fighting right to the core here of the Zerg army. Broodlords are getting attacked by Archons. They will fall down. That is it. The army is gone. 70 supply left. Only Link streaming in. Won't do anything against these Archons. The mothership remains as well. And Mana has done it. He's drawn this up. Bly a little bit resilient here to leave the game. But there it is. GG. Well, that was a rough fight. Let's just say that.
That was tough on both parties. A very long game, a war of attrition there on Cloud Kingdom, but Mana managing to bring one back. And now we have the series tied up 1-1 going into the deciding map.
And Mana there just getting some water from the admin, making sure everything is ready before we go to the final map. And I'm just going to look what it is. It is going to be Daybreak. If things weren't difficult enough, they're about to be here. Bly has got high success rate on Daybreak. Man has struggled here as well against Zerg players, and now he needs to pull out everything he's got. All that practice in Korea needs to come out right now. And remember, this is semi-final number 1. We're not even started yet here in Bucharest.
That's right. Daybreak is the map of choice. We're going to be getting into that lobby now. And both of these players must be so unbelievably tense. They want to win this so badly. Of course, Mana already qualified for the grand final in DreamHack Winter. And Bly looking to make sure he cements his place there as well. Although with a semi-final appearance, he probably has done that anyway. But he does not want to bow out here when he is so close to the final.
And you remember the money starts to increase now at this tournament too. You know, we said before that you get guaranteed $2,200, €2,200, sorry. After this win, you get almost double. And it doubles again afterwards. So it starts to increase a lot. These guys are definitely the guys you want to be going out drinking with tonight. They're the ones buying the beers, the drinks, and everything.
Well, we'll keep that in mind. We'll be sticking close to them. Let's see which one of them is going to be winning here on Daybreak, though. Very, very difficult map. What will Mana do against Bly's style here?
Well, there's only one guy that can answer that truthfully, and that's going to be Mana, as he's still not in the lobby, watching the replay. I don't even know. He may even be AFK right now. But make sure to go to Twitter, #DHBUC, and say, well, Mana, you just rock my world with that game. And let's see if we can do it again in game number 3. Like I said, it is going to be a difficult one for sure. Bly is a fantastic player, looking for his first final as well. Has always had consistent results, as mentioned.
Yeah.
And this is his best so far as well. Bly is always just falling a little bit short of the mark. This time, he's in the semis.
He's really looking forward. He can taste the final now, and you could see the excitement that he had on stage in that pre-match interview. He really wanted to make... He said, okay, he jokingly said it was a little bit of a coin flip, but you could see the smile on his face. He was looking forward to this matchup, looking forward to proving himself. And what better way to prove yourself than going through a former champion? He's so close right now.
Indeed it is, and it's going down to the wire. Can't believe we're going to see game 3. Mana, remember what Mana actually went through in that game. 4 cannons initially, which is never good. Losing his third base to the Hydras. Denied fourth base consistently, time after time after time. And then still managed to fight, come back, had an amazing engagement. A really picture-perfect engagement there. And was able to pull it back from that very fight.
Yeah, that Vortex in the first big fight there that we saw on Bly's half of the map, really throwing Bly off. And by that point, we should point, it's not like he lost that fight and then went into the Ultralists. The Ultras were actually already on the way while that fight was happening. Yeah. So it wasn't like a reaction to him losing the fight. He was committed to that tech switch already, and he had to try and do as much damage as he could with those Ultras, but unable to pull it off.
All right, guys, to keep the suspense building, we are going to take a quick commercial break before these are actually ready to jump in. They do want a couple of minutes before we go in. Cool. So we'll shoot to that commercial break. And when we return, map 3 will begin. Hello, everybody.
There we go.
Hello. I muted myself and I forgot to turn it back on. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the first semi-final. Map number 3 is seconds away from starting. It is now ticking in. We're loading in, and I hope you guys are enjoying your evening here in Bucharest. Hope you guys are having lots of fun here, watching some StarCraft 2, an amazing game we just saw. And let's see if we can have another one as we are now ready to begin this final map between these two fantastic players.
That's right. Bly and Mana really hacking each other to shreds here in the first semi-final. Let's see which one of them will come out on top. Now, both of them have dropped a map in the knockout stages, but only one of them is going to end up dropping 2 and therefore out of the tournament as well. We'll find out as we get into the game. Spawning over here in the top right position, ladies and gentlemen, as the red Zerg representing Team Acer. Can he make it to his first final? Guys, give it up for Bly. And his opponent in the bottom left-hand position, guys, trying to make his 3rd appearance at a DreamHack final. Will he do it? Representing Mouse Sports, we have Mana.
Very tense atmosphere here from Bucharest as this entire series is going to come down to this very map now, 1 apiece. Probe makes its way across the scout early on. And how is Bly going to play it out here? We've seen dramatic openings. We've seen crazy openings from Bly, changing it up, playing unpredictable, making it very hard for Mana to read into him. I think, though, Mana is such a good player and such an adaptable player that he would start to realize he's a genius. Might as well call him a genius because he will start to adapt now. I think he's going to play a lot better, a lot stronger towards the style Bly's been using. I wonder if Bly changes it up. I wonder if he goes to play normal lane or whether he stays the same.
Well, he's going to start getting a feel for when it's appropriate to be scouting against these wacky kind of build orders that Bly is popping out. Of course, he sees that the early gas seems to be the norm for Bly at the moment, but yeah. He needs to figure out when is a good time to see exactly what Bly's strategy is in the mid-game, and obviously it's different from a lot of other Zergs he plays against, but he's had a couple of games now to get used to it, so he might be able to do that here in Game 3.
To be honest, thinking about it, I wonder if Hallucinated Phoenix would be a good option here for Mana. They're very fast. It's going to be very difficult to actually deny the scouting. I'm not sure if he's going to think about it. I'm going to ask him later. Maybe when he's drunk, so I'll make sure I'm right. But we do have gas coming down again early on for Bly.
Nice.
But that's, I mean, that's kind of a correct response because he's not looking for a 3rd base. He wants to get that hatchery down, but if he can't, then he might as well spend the money that he's banking up behind it.
And we have 6 lings popping out now. They're going to be chasing the probe, who presumably, yeah, he's actually moving the probe around to try and dissuade the lings from going across the map because he doesn't want them to actually get into his base. We have 5 of them now moving out. It is quite a long rush distance with the rocks in the middle of the map not being taken down yet. On Daybreak, of course, only just started. So let's see if the cannon can complete in time. And actually, we have the complete wall off in the meantime. So Mana just being completely safe. These lings will not be able to get in.
Yep, I do like that a lot. This time, though, it won't work if he tries to bring down the gateway. And I'm actually just thinking back to game 1, 2, and now 3. Every start of the games, Mana's been a little bit behind. Game 1, he had 3 lings break through.
Mm-hmm.
Game 2, of course, 4 cannons, which is never a good situation to be in.
No, definitely not.
And this game, he's actually equal for the first time. He adjusts the position of the cybercore, gateway cybercore, and now is able to have a little bit of a pylon block with a single probe block. And now the probe's going to make its way into the natural. It's going to go in and try to check the gases, sees no drones or doesn't even bother checking. He's going to try to go around the creep and trying to get towards the gas. He's going to be able to click on the gas, and he now goes ahead and sees that the gas has been mined quite a lot. Roughly 150, but it doesn't really mean anything, as mentioned before. But oh my God,
Bly.
Wow,
that's a lot.
Okay, no, it's just because he was supply blocked.
Fair enough. All right.
So Bly got a little bit supply blocked there, and I was like, oh my God, he's taking 4 gases at 5 minutes 30. What is this? With Bly, I wouldn't be surprised, even though it wouldn't really make any sense thinking about it a little bit now. But a little bit of a pylon block causing him to do that.
Oh, good surround there on that Zealot out by the Watchtower. Trying to micro one of those Zerglings away, unable to do so, but still picking off that Zealot from Mana is going to be ever so slightly frustrating for our Protoss.
Layer fast, once again, by Bly, is going to play the same style that's brought him to the semifinals. He's beaten down Protoss players already in this tournament. And that probe is spotted, moving down. It's not for an expansion. It's going to be to move around, to get around the long way.
Right. Oh, immediately sending 2 lings is going to completely intercept the probe very, very quickly indeed. Mana will not be able to get a pylon down the map unless he sends another one out. And the Overlord's actually in great position to see if that's going to happen.
He sees +1. He sees no Chrono Boost going into the sniper core. Mana's attempt is failed. The Stalker's going to come out. It won't kill it, though. It will be able to get to the top, and Mana knows that, too, and doesn't actually try to continue through with the assault. Then we'll let the Overlord get away. So right now, equal positions in this game. Nobody ahead, nobody behind, just working out the strategies. Bly playing out his usual play. Layer, double gas now coming down. Mana, on the other hand, has gone up to Robo. And with this Robo, we'll look for that Observer again. So this has been spotted, the Robo. All 4 gases as well. Spire thrown down because of it. So we are going to be seeing 2-base Spire into 3rd base. It will come down immediately now, looking for 6 gases as fast as possible. But we are actually going straight, no funky stuff. This is a lot more streamlined play from Bly. He's just going straight, Muta, Ling. And this is a very good style on this map.
Yeah, that's a really good point, actually. It's almost like as he's been getting more serious, we've seen him incorporate more and more elements of just straight-up play into his game. We haven't seen as much crazy stuff going down here. The Spire's going down. We have an Evolution Chamber going down for him as well. Twilight Council going down for Mana, which is nearly going to complete, so potentially Blinkstalkers could be quite good against that Muta Ling composition. We'll see what he ends up doing a little bit later. And an Overseer is going to get lost here in the main base. Does scout the Twilight.
Does scout the Twilight Council. +2 on the way immediately here. Mana has 2 options now. The fork in the road is present. He either goes for a 2-base Blinkstalk all-in, or gets Blink out early to make his units can use them more efficiently and take a 3rd base from this. In a couple of moments' time, we're going to start to see, because the probes are at 50. He's building 2 more probes, but he's throwing down a couple more gateways.
So 4 more at the moment. So he's going up to a total of 5 as it currently stands, but the probe that built the gateways is still sort of sitting out there, so I wonder if he's going to put any more down.
Yeah, I think he's just going to go ahead and take 3rd base here. Probes keep on building in. Observer's going to make its way in the main base. Hello, is he going to move left? Oh, he does go left, and he does spot the Spire. That is absolutely fantastic news for Mana, because he's, for the first time in this game, he's played it out equal, has scouted at a good time, knows what he's playing against, and immediately the Warp Prism is made here. He wants to do the same as he did in Ohana, get the Warp Prism, put it and deploy when the Mutalisks are out across the map, because he knows behind that Eizo player wants to drone with the minerals. He's setting up pylons ready to build cannons in the mineral line, but a Dark Shrine is coming down. All right, so what he's going to be aiming for here is picking off a hatchery. He's going to most likely shoot straight for the main base, the Layer and Spire destination. Is he going to be able to keep this hidden? If he picks both of them off, I think he's going to go for a 2-base timing. Straight after.
He's got Blink research now as well before the Mutas can actually get into the main or any shenanigans like that. And the Mutas are on a little bit of an interception course with this Warp Prism. And no, the Ling actually at the 3rd doesn't quite see the Warp Prism, so Mana will get a little bit of reprieve in that regard. The Muta's now moving towards the 3rd base, should be able to force a cancel immediately here. The probe going to go down as well. And no, actually not targeting down the Nexus immediately. We have a couple of Stalkers here. The pylon goes down without a cancel, and here comes the Nexus as well. I don't think Mana's going to contest this.
I mean, Mana wants to blink him, but he doesn't, if that makes sense, because he doesn't know if there's Lings there, and Bly will get the cancel, or force the cancel out from Mana. The Warp Prism, though, is so close to Overlords in the top left, and it's going to be spotted, and this whole plan, his whole strategy is focused on the Warp Prism not being scattered. This is disastrous. There's +2 DTs ready to go, and they have to be warped in. Mana knows he's going to lose it, and his entire plan has been shut down, and already, look, a Spore Crawler is made, and Bly is starting to question what is going on here, and with that Spore Crawler coming down on the 3rd base to protect it, I think these DTs are absolutely going to fail, and Mana's plan has been absolutely screwed.
It's going to take forever for these DTs to walk across the map and get any damage done. They will at least see and probably force a cancel at the 4th base, and wow, Bly actually taking his 5th base at the same time. Going to be leaving 1 DT on the bottom right, working his way against that hatchery. So both of the newest hatches from Bly are going to get targeted down at this time. No, pardon me, one of them actually going straight into the natural expansion, where promptly surrounded by Lings, and that Spore Crawler does its job beautifully.
DT is going to pick off an expansion in the bottom right, but that's not really any use. Mana's throwing down more gateways. He's charging with +3.
Oh, wow.
He has to be so careful. And what he's trying to do is most likely just go for this attack. Guardian Shield activated immediately. Force Field gets a couple of Lings trapped.
Nidus again coming out from Bly, so let's see where he ends up putting that. We have the Infestation Pit going down for him as well. 2 more gateways about to finish from Mana, and he is already getting +3 attack. So like we've seen in previous games, those upgrades really helping him out here, but let's find out if it's going to be enough. Bly is going up to Hive now, and he's looking like he wants to do some aggression quite soon.
Yep, so right now, Bly, of course, in the lead in this game. The Mutalisk going to look towards getting into the main base. Mana already expects it and blinks units in there. And he's going to have to try and defend his third base as well. There's a lot of Lings there. Mana already expecting this multi-pronged harassment to come in. And he could actually deal with this really well. If Bly gets in and loses too much stuff, then Mana can easily find himself back in this game.
Oh, and here we go. Instant blink on top of the Mutalisk, and it looks like Bly is willing to engage here. The Mutalisk going straight up against the Stalkers. Are they going to be enough? Needs to be so careful. Blink micro coming down from Mana as well, and Bly opting to try and target down a section of those. We have Lings against Stalkers at the third base location as well, and it looks like Bly is edging out the Stalkers in the main base.
He is indeed, but Mora getting warped in, and he will be able to push these back slowly but surely, but that was a bit of a trade-off there. Most likely still in favor of Mana, but because there's 4 bases down for Zerg, it puts it in favor of Bly. He's trading, maybe not at a best ratio, but it doesn't matter when he has double the income of his opponent right now. He's able to replenish those Mutas. 8 more on the way. Spine Crawlers coming. Third base not even been focused on by Mana because he's been under so much pressure. And Bly is playing this out really, really well. And this is a strong style on this map, as mentioned. DT preventing that hatchery from coming down, killing the drone, but it will eventually fall here to the Lings. Going to try and maximize damage, getting behind the mineral line. And he will get a couple of extra kills on these Lings. But Mana starting to secure his third base for the first time in this game. The gases are coming down, but as he secures his third base, the Greatest Spire is already on its way.
Yeah, and the in addition to the Greatest Spire, we have +2 melee attacks on the Zerglings about halfway done. He has got +1 on the Lings and +1 on the Mutas at the moment, so Bly really looking to hit and hit hard with this kind of composition earlier on in the game until he can get up to those Infestor Broodlords as quickly as he possibly can. As a follow-up to this, he's currently up 159 to 117 supply in the work account, 85 to 61 as we have an engagement now at the third base. Good force fields from the sentries, but the Muta's able to pick them up very quickly, so those are the only force fields that are going to go down here. The Stalkers get taken out as well, and now the probes are under attack. The army from Mana out of position there, and the force fields working against the probes. So many have gone down, 23 workers killed.
That was a massive strike and a blow for Bly. That was, I mean, for Mana, sorry, that was just devastating. 25 probes just got lost, an entire mineral line, basically. And Mana's finding himself in a worse and worse position. He had all his Stalkers in his main and natural. You don't know where the Mutalisks are going to pop. Look at that bit of a, well, might as well use the energy for something there to contaminate, but never mind. It's not going to really do anything too much in this game. These Mutalisks have been devastating. Broodlords are on the way. Great blink by Mana, picking off a Mutalist and damaging another. But he has nothing to fight Broodlords, Infestors, and so on. Once the Infestors get into this game, not quite yet, but they will eventually. The upgrades aren't even that bad this time around for these Lings. They're at 2-0.
And he started +2 flyer attack now as well, getting adrenal glands for those Lings, so they will be able to attack quite quickly indeed. Zealot at the central watchtower does get taken out by those Lings. Bly doing a good job of trying to deny Mana vision out on the map at the moment. I mean, if we just look at Mana's vision, he can basically see his base. And that is just such a great thing to be able to do at this point of the game. Bly is keeping Mana contained right now until he gets the army composition he wants. At the very least, Mana must be feeling very uncomfortable.
Yeah, Mana's in a difficult position here. And he knows it too. 130 supply to 192. You can look at the time and be like, is it 18, 19 minutes now? I'm at 130 supply. Are you serious? And he knows the trouble he's in this game is Bly. 195 with 5 bases taken. Stargate coming down. Mana's not going to try and attack. He knows that he can't. He just doesn't have any money. Doesn't have any army either. And he's going to slowly but surely move to the center of the map, take a 4th base. Warp Prism's going to try and do something for him here. But a Ling spots it before he even gets close to that base.
Yeah.
And, well, no reaction yet from Bly, but
so tough to be in Mana's position right now. 9 and 10 spine crawlers going down for Bly, so he's looking to cement his position on this area of the map as quickly as possible. Immediate Overseer at the 4th base there, and those DTs get very promptly destroyed. That's a decent investment in gas just gone now. The banks are looking at 2,000 minerals and 600 gas for Bly, and only 600, 200 for Mana. So he can't be affording just yet to be chucking away stuff like that, unfortunately. Trying to harass, but nothing's coming of it just yet. And Bly is now maxed out against the 140 supply of Mana. All of the upgrades are now coming in.
All the upgrades are indeed coming in. And we're about to see the death march from Bly. He's got a very comfortable Broodlord army. And his Lings are not going to do that much, but look what they are doing, is bringing down the Stalker count. And actually, they're doing a lot more than I expected. Good God, just Lings have brought down every single unit.
Adrenal Gland, good upgrade, man, and very nicely done there from Bly. Just trading efficiently, whittling his opponent down. He's now at 182 to 113 supply. Going to try and get into the base for a scout. Won't be able to do that much, but wow, did he just trade very, very well there indeed. And another 42 Lings immediately getting produced. If he can trade like this, he's just going to send pockets of Lings in left, right, and center until Mana taps out at this rate. So Mana has to be so careful and be so cost efficient here.
Such a great submission-focused play by Bly. Lings coming in, Mutas coming in, just suffocating Mana left and right, and we are going to see these Mutas backed off, but the problem still remains. There's a lot of good Broodlords. Bly, compared to Mana last game, is playing safer now. He is at a comfortable mark where he can move across. I think he's going to do it now, but he's waiting for some more upgrades to click in, such as Null Parasite, which he didn't have on that last game when he took the fight to Mana's 3rd and 4th.
Oh, and here comes a Nidus Worm from Bly, so it looks like the aggression is going to be starting pretty soon indeed. The creep going across the middle of the map, some Lings getting a nice surface area on those Stalkers. Mana not wanting to waste Storm on it. Here comes another Ling run by to the top left base, which will go down at this point, and the Mutas that were previously hidden, hoping to pick off some units there, do come into the fray as well. 189 supply versus 133. The Mothership is not yet out. It still needs another 30 seconds, but in that time, Mana might have lost his 3rd base. He's really struggling right now.
He is really struggling, and he's going to have to pray to the gods he prays to, because right now is the march that is going to be almost unstoppable. The Mothership's going to come out. Maybe if there's no detection, maybe Mana can do it. But Bly is looking for his first final, his first ever final in whatever tournament you name. This is going to be it. The Broodlords are ready. Only one Overseer. Only one. There are Blink Stalkers. Infestors are coming in now as well. A couple more Overseers join the fray, but this 3rd base is being targeted down. Bly is forcing the issue. He's saying, come and stop me killing your 3rd base, and if you do, my Broodlords are ready. Great feedbacks from Mana, but I don't think it's going to be enough, and Bly is moments away from taking this game. It's 5 bases versus 2, and Bly very well could have done it with this methodical, slow, but excellent play.
He's been so unbelievably patient in this game. A lot of spine crawlers out in the middle of the map as well to dissuade any potential counterattack. Now, Mana can still have the engagement of his life. He still could get the world's best Vortex, get all of the Archons in there, and completely decimate the army in one fell swoop. That is possible and still on the cards, but he has to have such a good engagement here against Bly. It's looking so difficult for him, and Bly, like you mentioned, Apollo, is playing so patiently right now. He's not rushing into this final engagement. He's waiting until conditions are perfect, and against a Zerg player like that, it's so difficult to force the issue.
And here comes Mana, but Bly is ready and waiting. He says, come and get some, because I'm going to the finals, and you are not going to stop me. Mana's going to try. The Mothership is ready. He's got a Vortex available. The unit spread is pretty damn good. He gets one on the right-hand side. Neural comes in to cloak the Broodlord. There is an Overseer, though, and an Observer, but it doesn't matter. Bly is absolutely destroying Mana.
Oh, dear. Already maxed out again. 36 Lings and 3 more Infestors on the way. Hasn't stopped with the upgrades either. 173 to 69 supply, and it looks like at this point, Mana is on his last legs. Bly might be going to his first DreamHack final.
GG, good luck in the finals, and Bly has done it. Look how happy he is.
Wow, that's a lot of emotion coming out from Bly there as he exits his booth. Well played. He is going to the finals, defeating the champion Mana. 2-1 handshakes all around. Ladies and gentlemen, Bly, your first finalist here in Bucharest.
Right, That's better. There, we've got some microphone right now. Bly, fantastic game. Talk us through the whole 3 maps. Let's start with the first map. Won the first map. Were you confident? You thinking, that's it? Good game. I can take this in 2?
Actually, I was too greedy in the first map. And it was in time because mana was too passive. And I took the advantage because I was kind of greedy again. And I think that's why I win. And second and third game, I was too confident. That's actually my big problem. Sometimes I lose because I'm too confident when I'm 6 base versus 3, and I don't let my opponent to make base number 4. I'm like, oh, I can do whatever I wanna. And
that second map, though, just talk about that second map, because it was quite a strange second map in that you were way ahead with supply. It looked like you were dominating the map, and somehow you let him back into the game. Was that your mistake or his great play?
It's his great plan, but to make it possible, I needed to make a big mistake like I did. Like, how much times? I cancelled his third base 1 time, but it was full. And then after Nidus, I played Broodlords, and I cancelled 2 or 3 times base number 4. I had 5 bases, 80 drones, mass spines. But actually, not only the one problem was that I gave it all my army. After I make about 15 spines or 20 spines, I did not reproduce my drones. That was the big mistake, because after the fight, I could not make a unit so much as I should.
Yeah. So, and then the third map, it almost seemed like at times you were ready. You had enough. You had the supply. You had the army. Everything was ready to go. But you were very patient in that last map. Why were you just playing that safe? Were you just being careful?
I have no idea, actually. When I was playing the group stage, I was nervous very much. But after I started to play playoffs, my APM down like for 30, 35, lower than usually. But like perfect clicks, no nervous. Everything is plan by plan by plan, stage by stage, and it works overall.
It definitely worked. Ladies and gentlemen, your first finalist of the day, it is Eizo Bly. Fantastic first semi-final. We've got another semi-final coming up, and this guy's actually been very good in the interview. But here's what happens when interviews don't go quite well.